Show. We'll start recording. There we go. Welcome back to the Just Jim Show for the second hour. Actually, the second 2-hour batch we're going to do. And we just had a call from AFP caller. We'll have to do this here. There we go. Come on. I can't spell today. Let's see. Right now, I'm going to say that we're being barred from Twitter, which is actually interesting. Or else that they are so overloaded. But I'm not seeing anything other than our posts are not going over there. And they're also not going over to Facebook. And my apologies for that. So I guess I either have to do it manually, which I really don't feel like taking the time to do that. But there's a busload of people coming. Let's see, we got a document here. Yeah, you have to bear with me. I'm going all over the place here. Milwaukee City DPW doing Go TV at polls. Can you imagine this? Now, here we go. Here's one of the first verified. Here we go. This is, whoa, I didn't want to do that. I want to come over here and see this one, and we will drop this in on our program here quickly. And you can see for yourself that Milwaukee Department of Public Works is now transporting people to the polls. This is Acorn's work, I'm going to bet. Absolutely. There we go. Let's put this over here, and we'll put it right on the air. Here's a picture right here, folks. You're over on a TV show. This is a picture in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, of a DPW truck offloading people at a poll place. And this is coming out of Vicky McKenna. There you go. You guys can see it first. I mean, between the Black Panthers over here in Pennsylvania, a couple of different shots of them standing around, and then gathering at the street corner, and then the long lines at the polls, and the long lines at pre-poll opening. I believe this was on the East Coast too somewhere. Not the East Coast, but it was out east. And I know today is going to be an extremely interesting day for all parties concerned. And with information that is now being documented. And you guys out there, as you're wandering around, please do take photos of what you see going on around you. Take your blinders off your eyes. Open them up real wide. I know you're tired because you've been working very hard to get people out to the polls to vote and upend this village idiot we have leading our country. And to make it go away, I'm waiting for something to happen out of the East Coast. That I hope that it doesn't happen, but I'm waiting for it to happen. Here's a joke from Alex Jones. How do you know when Obama is lying? His lips are moving. Right on, Alex. You got that right. That coming out, I'm predicting. I'm going to predict that this will come out of the East Coast, given Sandy and the new nor'easter that's supposed to be coming in. Let me get the. Yep, where'd my remotes go? I'm out of remotes here today. Well, it's here somewhere. Where the heck did it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I went right between your feet, didn't I, girl? Yep, let me get out of here. There you go. Let's go see what the weather says we're doing out on the East Coast today. I don't know. Nothing going on there. Talking about Humana and the insurance. Yeah, that's right. It's enrollment time in America, isn't it? Among other things. Again, document what you see. Please document what you see and make sure you get it out here to the social networks or into somebody who has the ability to. We're being. It looks like we're being banned from Twitter. Our tweets are not going through, and I'm sorry for that. So I guess we'll just have to go over and post the stuff ourselves. Pictures tell 1,000 stories, and when you have pictures coming in like they're coming in right now, you gotta love it. Nothing is going to escape those who truly have their eyes open and are not afraid to talk about and let the rest of the world know that this stuff is going on. It's imperative that we do this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to drop another one in here real quick. Hang on. We're going to drop this over here. This should be the picture of the day, I guess. I should make this the picture of the day. As the Acorn and the Milwaukee Public DPW decides they're going to bus people around, conservatives are going to the polls today. Ah, God. This is a mag poll. Change fire. Hope it's safe. This is hope for change, huh? You betcha. Cheesy, but it's absolutely correct. You gotta love this stuff. If you don't love American sense of humor, through it all. I mean, we get serious. We get frustrated when we're working towards whatever it is that we're working towards. Change and arrest that drought. You're damn right, arrest them. Yeah, and follow the you follow the money and the movements within that group of people, and you're going to find out. Turn it back on. Oh boy, I don't know. You're going to find out that this is more prevalent than anything that's going on in the country right now. It's imperative that we watch what's going on. It's how can you say it? It's where we've been remiss as patriots, citizens. There is an obligation that we have to continue to watch what is going on around us. Wow. Up in north of where I am, at Lake Wish I Be Gone in the great state of Wisconsin, Harold Nutsack, owner of Bad Bones Barbecue up in Minocqua, just hit the polls at 10 a.m., and he said he was number 453 with no waiting in line. Obviously, it's work day. Welcome, it's Tuesday. We go to work, and I'm thinking at lunch there may be a little bit of a line up there. I wouldn't worry too much about it, Harold. And then directly after work, you're going to have your lines where most of the people figure that they can get in and get their vote cast somewhere shortly right after work. And let's put that down. What 453 he said he was. Let's see. I'm going to say that this is not going to go through to Twitter and Facebook, but I guess you just never know. Apparently, Obama had a campaign stop last night somewhere. If anybody's following me over on well, this is interesting. Yeah, half empty arena. He's only got the 1, 2 out of the 4 tiers. He's got 2 filled in the floor. Nobody there. If you gave a party and nobody came, I wonder about that sometimes. What if you truly throw a party and nobody comes? I'm telling you. That seems to be what's going on. Although those people who do show up at Obama parties seem to somehow libtard. You betcha. Probably drinking and driving. You got it, Rob. You betcha. And we're paying for it, too. We are paying for that crap to go on around us. Well, no mas. As the boxing match once said, no mas, no mas. Meaning no more. Back to where, we've been just remiss in watching and keeping our eyes open, or we just turn and look the other way, and that has to stop. And I think this election, if we get nothing else out of this, and God, I don't want to say that, but you have to say that we have an awakening of American citizens, patriots. And we've gone through this before, the difference between conservatives, liberals, and patriots. There is a difference. And some people say, well, you'll never find a Democrat patriot. Oh, yes, you will. There is a huge difference between a patriot and a conservative and a patriot and a Democrat. Absolutely, positively. Even a patriot and a libertarian. You, the people, we, the people, need to return to our roots as patriots. Stand guard and start to deliver the America that our forefathers gave to us. And I'll be the first one to stand here and tell you that I've been remiss in doing my patriotic duties for many years, if not decades. But it is going to stop. It is that imperative that we, the people, return our efforts to guaranteeing, that America remains America the way our forefathers meant it to be. Yep, I'm not getting one tweet coming through here, and I don't know why. Somebody must be nailing our network. I'll have to drop another doohickey on. Let's see what we can get away with here. I will actually log out. Somebody do me a favor and follow us over at WPEG on Twitter, please. And I'm going to sign off of here and see if I can't muster some extra resources and see what we can do here to... Here we go. We have a SEAL Team November 6th report coming in Philadelphia. Former Navy Captain Benjamin Brink is leading this operation. It's been dubbed SEAL Team November 6th. And this is how a veterans group plans to enforce democracy on Election Day in America. The nation saw a video of members of Black Panthers in Philadelphia intimidating people trying to vote in 2008. Brink told me when I interviewed him during my radio show on IQ 106.9, we are trying to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again this year. Brink claims to have over 100 former Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Green Berets, and others who are volunteering for duty. The idea of Navy SEALs and Black Panthers getting into it at a Philly polling place gives a whole new incentive for casting a ballot. Our guys are not easily intimidated, and I'm going to say our guys should not be intimidated. Screw the easy shit. Pardon my French. Don't let the bravado fool you. The mission, according to Captain, is to observe and report, not to engage. We are going to watch for intimidation, videotape it if possible, and report it to the proper authorities. And as you can see over here on the TV side, there are stationary members of the Black Panthers posted around polling places. We've got a number of different pictures coming in. And this absolutely has to stop. There is no two ways about it. Benjamin lives in the St. Louis area. He served in both Iraq and Afghanistan. It was the video of the Black Panthers in the battle over voter IDs that inspired him to start his clean election movement called Get Out the Vet. Got that? Get out the vet. See, this goes hand in hand with what I've been saying for a long, long time, inclusive of the groups of the Oath Keepers out of Vegas. It's one of the fastest growing organizations of patriots. And the Sons of Liberty Riders, another organization national, that are totally dedicated. Most all are veterans, and they've had enough. They've had their belly full of this yutz, and or those that perpetuate the lack of respect and honor to the Constitution of the United States of America. It is truly quite simple. It's our law. It's a document that we need to adhere to. Not some whim of, playing. No, I can't go there. Although Philadelphia will get special attention, the Special Ops vets will also be overseeing polling sites in cities like Cleveland, Miami, and Vegas. Actually, there was a picture of a gal getting arrested in Vegas trying to vote twice just the other day. And down in Arizona, we had during the People's Court, we had the presidential outcome shown as a graphic. I believe it was like 2 weeks ago. And drew quite a stir to those who saw it. And I guess rightfully so. I don't know what else you can say about that. It's, come on, move over. I don't want to do that. Come on, I can see that, can't I? Let's move. I'm having techie difficulties today. Right? Oh, you're bouncing. You're dreaming and swinging your tail around. Gotta love our pups. At least I love mine. During the course of this election, I think this stuff is going to be cropping up all over the country, but I hope that it's really at a minimum, and that anything that happens that's out of the ordinary, that's questionable, because it's, citizens sometimes know the law, but at some point when law enforcement officers and police departments do not do their jobs, for fear of violating the bigger picture scheme, and we get mad about that as citizens, saying, well, we called you, we said it's illegal, we know it's illegal, and they don't do anything. They come by and they just wander around, don't do anything. Look at Dearborn, Michigan. Good God Almighty. Muslim hell over there. Although whatever, they're going to go on, and big cities and swing states that have a history of reports of voter intimidation. So they've actually got a fair group of people. I don't know how many they have in their group, but they will be sending them out. And it says, but isn't sending big, strapping, steely-eyed men with buzz cuts and special op tattoos at the very least visually hypocritical? Don't these guards against voter intimidation intimidate people themselves? That's not our purpose, assures Brink. Voters are showing up at the polls, probably won't even notice that they're there. These men are trained to be ghosts. And welcome to the media not understanding who the hell our troops are, who our heroes are. These are the people who have been sent into the dirtiest shit that you could imagine to do a job that nobody else will do. They have picked up the gauntlet, gone and done their duty, thank God. And now they're picking up the gauntlet again because we, the people, need some help once in a while. And I'd be the first to say it. I'm not a small guy, but it's tough to go stand there by yourself and do what it is you need to do because most of the time the violators and the intimidators show up in numbers, and numbers are all what it's about. So these guys hanging around, possibly, as they say, you'd never know they were there. But obviously, they are there to ultimately protect those who wish to exercise their right of expression in the voting booth. And I will guarantee you that these guys will protect both sides of the aisle. The Black Panthers have been trying to gain legitimacy in this country since the 60s, and they've always fallen short. They'll get little upswings in their popularity with certain groups of American citizens simply because they look official and they do intimidate by their look. I'll guarantee you that you put a batch of SEALs on the street next to the Black Panthers, I'm going to tell you there is no contest. I'll guarantee you that these gentlemen will open doors for voters, help elderly if they do, because they understand what it is to be an American citizen with respect. These other yutzes don't. Well, we've been downtrodden forever and a day. So now I'm going to stand here and look impotent. You know, screw that crap. Take off the hat, put on a shirt and pants, put some Dockers on, and if you want to be there to ensure something, why don't you be there to help the people who need it to try and get into the polling places? And if the lines get long, there is nothing wrong with trying to have some kind of calming effect, not intimidating effect, at the poll lines. There is nothing. That is what America is all about, son. You Black Panthers. Jesus Christ. It's God bless us all. But this is absolutely ridiculous. When you have a bunch of retired service people getting up, organizing and saying that we will be somewhere to protect something that our quote-unquote leaders are not protecting. Wow, it's snowing again pretty good. America has serious wayside problems. It's just, it is. Here we go. Voted number 525 at 10:40 this morning. Voter number 525. I don't know where they're voting, but obviously it's a slanted perspective. But here's the perspective coming out of the polls. Have to say, this looks to me like a love of country turnout. And I think that is a huge. It will be the deciding factor. There are people who are elderly. Yeah, right on, Gary. You got it. Even myself, we live in a retirement type community. Like I said, our fire residencies goes from 700 and something on a good day in the middle of summer. Here we go. We're going to get another voter ID. What do we got? Who's calling in? We don't know. Good morning, WPEG and the Just Jim Show. How can I help you? Hello? It must be a libtard. Doesn't have the cojones to say hi. Well, that's your problem then. Call back again when you got something to say.
Hello, this is Amanda calling on behalf of the RNC to remind you that Tuesday, November 6th, is Election Day,
and
your 2012
it is.
Republican team needs your vote. Your Republican team will reduce taxes, remove regulations, cut the deficit, and cap federal spending to get America working again.
You think?
Wisconsin will play a very important part in deciding the outcome of this election. Vote Republican on Tuesday. This call was paid for by the Republican National Committee, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. 866-960-8256.
Well, feel free to call back anytime. Jimmy Dean called the other Jimmy Dean called the other day, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but the real Jimmy Dean. Yeah, right. Well, it was his voice, but I mean, it was kind of funny the way he introduced himself on there. And it's like, yeah, you're right, Gary. Everybody's saying get off your butts, get off of Facebook. You've got your smartphone, however smart they are or are not. Get your ass in line, go vote. That is what it's all about. Yep. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Robin's Restaurant in Oshkosh. Any of you people down in the Fox Valley down there? Kim, I know you're down in that neck of the woods. Swing on by. They've got some stuff. They got a lunch that they're getting out over there. It says, welcome to Robin's. We have chili, loaded baked potato. Oh, twice baked potatoes. That's the American way. They got a chicken salad, $7.95, chicken parmesan sandwich, Philly cheesesteak. So when you get tired of looking at your Black Panthers over in Philly, you come on over to the Robin's Restaurant in Oshkosh and get a Philly cheesesteak. Chicken salad, burger specials $5, 3-piece roasted chicken $7.95. You know why not? Get out, vote, swing by, shake some hands, meet some people. They're still making the phone banks ring. They're considering the day not to be done, and at some point, why not? Absolutely correct. Yep. Oh. Yeah, you betcha. It's I don't know where this is now. Again, here's another picture that comes in, but this could be somewhere else. I always try to tell people when you post crap on the public networks. This is an American Center for Law and Justice is posting this thing. It's UN troops armed with the blue helmets on. I'm going to say that this was in Haiti. So, I mean, it's got nothing to do with the United States at the moment. And I haven't had anybody actually verify that they've seen UN troops. Not obviously, but it's supposed to be that they're not going to be wearing their blue flak jackets, supposedly. They in theory they're supposed to be around. Rumor has it they will be in Madison, Wisconsin. I do not know. They will be down in Florida. I don't know where. What is this? Well, this is interesting. Hang on to your shorts here, people. Hang on to your jumping jack shorts. We'll see what happens here. We're down to a bad stream here. Oh, look at this. Oh. Hang on. I'll have this picture over on the TV station shortly in 30 seconds or so. There. Let me drop this down over here. And I'm going to ask when you get over here, come on, join us on the TV side. Just Jim Show over on Ustream TV. We are playing with everything that's going on here. This one just came in. And this is true. Comment after this. Right there. This is a polling place in the United States of America. This is in Philadelphia. Why is it that Philadelphia is having such a hard time following the rules of the road this election day? This is a mural of Obama in a polling place. And the first comment that comes out after this is this is exactly true. Just like in Cuba, Castro's pictures all over the place. This is where we've let our country go, people. Do you get it? If you saw this in your community, what would you do? Yep, that's exactly right. Why? Why did it happen? And once again, this falls hand in hand with this article that I read this morning and we talked about, where our students and graduates are faking Twitter accounts with school administrator names and being let go, not being prosecuted. That is theft. It's a felony. The DITS principle is, well, yeah. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say that this needs to be stopped. This cannot continue to happen in our country. We can't let it continue to happen. Why? Why in God's green earth is this allowed to be going on? I agree wholeheartedly, Sonny. There's nothing in the world. We've got the courts ordering all this stuff to be undone. And is this the ploy of the libtards that run around our country? Does this say that, well, which I would tend to agree with this thought, is that we'll start all these fires and they're only going to catch 90% of them, so 10% are going to let them get away with this stuff. And because you can't find them all. Well, you need people with enough cojones to turn them in. This is an illegal act. Somebody working at the polling places put this mural on the wall. Come on over to the TV station. Check us out. This is the picture that sits on the polling place where Americans have to go vote. And see all the blue note papers sitting on the wall right next to it. Hope. And this is indicative of the village idiot that's now disgracing our country as so-called president. Just do it like all the other things that he's done and thinks he's getting away with. From the first lady sitting clapping, instigating a clapping spree during a debate when you're told to shut your flap. You're supposed to shut your flap while they're on the floor and talking. But look at old Michelle there, down the lower right corner. She's got her hands working overtime. Shit-ass eating grin on her face. Oh, there's one for my husband. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. We had this discussion out by the fireside last week. I still have records of our discussions. The only hope for change, I hate to say it, could be this. You have total lack of regard for the laws of the land, the United States Constitution. That's exactly right. Sorry, I'm typing a reply here. This is hopefully, as I said, I'm hoping to high heaven that this is going to happen in an extremely limited scope across America. And Admiral Yamamoto said after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, "I fear all we've done is awoken a sleeping giant." And I think that those words ring as true today as they did back then. Rue the day, Obama, Biden, Holder, Hillary. The administration goes on and on and on. Rue the day that you did what you've done to the American image and American people. Today is the day you will rue. You bleeding heart liberal sons of bitches. No respect for the office. None whatsoever. And then you yell at us when you stick somebody, you cut somebody. You stick them in the belly and they start bleeding. They're going to get pissed off. Don't stand there and say, "Why are you mad?" You should not be mad. Well, you stuck me in the belly and then we're bleeding. We're gushing blood all over the place. Of course I'm going to be mad. I'm going to cuss and holler. We get excited. Yeah, we're excitable people. Look at this look this guy gives. Look at the look Obama gives to Mitt Romney while his back is turned. What are you talking about? That look, he almost fell off the chair. There is no respect for what it is he says. "I'm honored to be your president." No, you're honored to do whatever the hell you think you want to do. You've got enough people on the gravy train now to say, "Well, yeah, keep doing it. Yeah, give me my Obama phone. If you're not elected, I'm going to lose all my food stamps and my phone bill and my phones and this and that. I'm going to lose this and get up off your ass and go to work." That's what Americans do. Boy, and I tell you, if you love the Second Amendment and you're listening to this broadcast, you need to, if you haven't voted, and I'm truly hoping that I'm just preaching to the choir here. If you know somebody that's not voting, and I know one person here, and hey, Jamie, if you need a ride, you let me know. I'll get off the air. I'll come drive you there. I don't care. Vote. We need to get you to the polls, and not by some acorn worker that's driving a city bus or van. It's This is yeah. I don't know. I'm telling you. It's just this commentary on the mural in the polling place. Obviously, there's been some kind of an order, probably by their local GAB or maybe a circuit judge ordered it. I don't know, to remove it or cover it. And I guess the problem I have with it needs to be taken down, because if it's in a taxpayer building, it's got no business being there. Elections or not, it needs to be gone. It should not be in a public building. That is exactly like Cuba and many other socialist dictatorship states and countries. How many images have we toppled in the last 5 years that are exactly like that mural on the wall? That's down and dirty of it. And yeah, out of the New York Post today, there is a headline that was published. All this office needs is a leader. There you go. If people look at the issues who care and understand the issues of being an American citizen, Oh, we got somebody down there. It's apparently Vicki McKenna is reporting today that double voting is witnessed in downtown Milwaukee. Poll watcher threatened. Police now investigating. I mean, this is the stuff. Welcome to why we need poll watchers. There was an urgent plea. I'm reading stuff as it comes in. There was an urgent plea by some Northwoods Patriots in the northern part of Wisconsin to muster up, get off of your couch potato, and try to find a way to spend time at a local polling place so that you can observe. Because this stuff may or may not be happening even in our little community of Lake Wish I Be Gone. I told you, I'm number 3. There it is. I was number 3 today. Yes, indeed, do. Number 3. And normally I'm number 1, at worst number 2. Today I was number 3 because a poll worker, while clocked in, decided they needed to jump into the number 1 slot. And I'm gonna bet you a pile of beans, homemade beans, homegrown beans from the garden, that it had to do with, as one poll worker called me, the troublemaker couldn't get number 1. That's the way it went down, folks. Couple of people heard that gal. Well, here's the troublemaker. You know, I wear that badge proudly, along with my guns and my love of the Constitution. You betcha. It's a badge of honor. Here comes the troublemaker. You know, that says only one thing, that I'm a thorn in somebody's side because they got to do it my way, which is the right way under the Constitution, and not their way, which is an illegal way. Absolutely love that comment. Wear it proud. And I pretty much told her it's Mr. Troublemaker to you. It's an interesting day in America, isn't it? But I tell you, for as much trouble as probably will be going on in many places in this country, you have to love where you live, because we have the ability to go through it, and hopefully it won't be too much of a sorry state of affairs when we're done. And with that, it's just Jim in the morning on Election Day, November 6th, 2012, on WPEG.net, your dose of reality network. WPEG.net, your local PEG programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners, a listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters, because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program. At Hodag Gun & Loan, you'll find one of the largest selections of new and used guns in the Northwoods. Beretta, Ruger, and Springfield Armory, rifles, pistols, and black powder. At Hodag Gun & Loan, your gun and ammo needs are covered. We buy gold and jewelry too, and right now we're paying the highest prices in the Northwoods for your gold. Located at 915 Lincoln Street in... Support our underwriters. After all, they're the ones that keep us bringing this program to you. Do you need a safe and secure place to keep your personal property? Do you want 24-hour lit access to your mini warehouse? Do you want your own lock on your storage unit? Conveniently located at 1647 Menominee Drive in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing has exactly what you're looking for in short and long-term storage units. With nearly 200 storage units that provide safe and secure storage for your personal property, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing and Storage will meet all your storage needs with their short-term and long-term rental contracts. Storage units come in sizes from 4 to 6 foot to 12 to 16 for your large personal and household items. For a limited time, get 1 month free with a 6-month paid rental contract. Call 715-366-2260 today to see about availability and current monthly specials. From big to small, we store it all. Call 715-366-2260 today. Prices subject to availability. WPEG.net television network is your PEG content provider in Wisconsin's Northwoods. Public, education, and government programming content is what we do. From city meetings to school board meetings,
and all points in between. You can count on WPEG.net to deliver the news of your elected officials to you. With WPEG's television network working for your community, you don't have to miss another government meeting or an important school board presentation. We deliver directly to your living room and computer. Tell your city officials that you want to know what they're doing. After all, that's why you elected them. Let your elected officials know that you want WPEG.net television network on your community cable television system today. Call 715-490-2300 or 490-2303 and tell us what you think. Or you can send us an email at pegnews@wpeg.net. WPEG is a listener-supported
Are you ready
station.
for digital TV? Dave's TV is. Do you know what you need? Do you have what you need to watch the new digital TV signals? We've been installing antennas and satellite dishes for the past 25 years. From city installations to hunting shacks in the woods, from rabbit ears to 300-foot towers, we've seen it all. No job is too big or too small. Call Dave's TV and Satellite today at 715-362-3001. That's Dave's TV, 362-3000. WPEG.net, your local PEG programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners. A listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program.
I do know that this White House is very much an intellectual hothouse. It's a little different. Well, it's obviously different than the last White House, but there are certain intellects which are like fluorescent, and they are taking over the place. And the president is one of them.
I don't know what the term is in Austrian. Wheeling and dealing.
Welcome, de cinco de cuatro. Cinco de Mayo at the White House. We are a day early.
This is Obama mistaking the French windows for a door at the White House.
Shut up. He just moved in.
Now, do you think if that was Bush, do you think that would be all over the place? But the thing is about Obama, he's just so adorable when he's confused.
Adorable.
You got lost in here? I have, repeatedly.
But what I am saying is that
I don't know all the facts. I think what we need right now is honesty with the American people about where we would take the country. That's how I'm trying to run my campaign. That's how I will be as president.
if that same diabetic ends up getting their foot amputated, that's $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Immediately, the surgeon is reimbursed.
That was a wrong statement.
One man from Illinois lost his coverage in the middle of chemotherapy.
Wrong.
The insurer found that he hadn't reported gallstones that he didn't even know about. They delayed his treatment, and he died because of it.
Today, again, suggested that I don't understand. It's true. There are some things I don't understand. Today, again.
Somebody didn't tell you when you need to shut up.
The president has a big stick.
It is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months, we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go. One left.
Yeah, that's right. One left to go. There's your leader. There's your village idiot. The guy who thinks he needs to be president. Again. People, I hope we wake up. I truly do. If you're over on the TV side, you know, we got some snapshots. We love to share. This is absolutely ludicrous. This last year of this administration's tenure has been, well, let's be politically nice to him today. I suppose as he leaves, we should be relatively nice. And when he leaves, I'll go, nah. His performance in the last year has been less than stellar. I'll just say it that way. It's been less than stellar. I don't... the list of somebody here, Paul, excuse me, and my voice will come and go today, I'm sure. Let's see what they got to say here. Edward Murrow said once, a nation of sheep will beget a government of wolves. How true is that? And that is where we are today. Absolutely. Oh, this was a list of lies thing. Okay, that's the old truth meter thing. Yeah. He lies. He just talks out of both sides of his mouth. We all know that's true. But the list goes on and on. Absolutely. Oh, look at this. We have got a report that look at this. Vicki McKenna is reporting from Delafield. Voter was 725 after work in the Wisconsin recall election, and now is 1700 in the same location before noon. A very conservative district in Wisconsin. Can you see it? Did you hear that one? Numbers in the Walker recall election, that voter was 725 at approximately the same time of the day. Whereas today, in the presidential cycle, that same voter was 1,700. Interesting. Oh, we're getting votes to... Yeah. We'll see what they got to say. Hello! Right. Order up your prescriptions. Spend some more money. There you go. Eric Hovde, absolutely correct. Today will determine the direction. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but yes, you are absolutely correct. That today, and while we talk about the presidential race, if it is a race, we have forgotten to turn our attention, severe attention, to the congressional and Senate elections. We can get wrapped up in what we think will happen with a president, whomever gets elected. But if you have backbone, if you have spine, if you have some cojones in the Senate and the Congress, they will check the executive branch of our government at the highest level. They will not allow this executive order crap to keep going on. Congress needs to stand up, reclaim their right to run our country. I've said this for 6 months. And we're so wrapped up in these, I'll say it like I called it back when the presidential nomination crap was going on. It's a stage of fools. Every day the lead quote-unquote changed. No, that's a crock of crap. And why are we not talking about the congressmen and women who are supposed to be running our country? Congress says, from young Paul, they want to audit the Fed, the money boys. Well, where's the Senate? So is the reason that the Congress passed that bill because they knew the Senate would never back it up and truly audit the Fed? Are we afraid? Are we afraid of what we'll find? I'm going to strongly suggest that is the truth. We as Americans may not want to find out what we're about to find out, but sometimes you just have to go do it. It's exactly like the senators who left Wisconsin. You will never win. You will never win 100% of your battles. Ask any military person who has served our country or is currently serving our country. You'll never win them all. You got to think you're going to, but there are sometimes it just ain't going to happen. Does that mean you don't fight the fight? Give it your all? Obviously, liberals don't feel that way. Apparently, Sandy gas woes continue. People are trading gas for sex on Craigslist. Let's see which... Excuse me, I'm tired. I was up late last night thinking about what I wasn't going to... let's see if we can pick this up here. I don't know if I can or not. What is this? See if we got enough horsepower to shove this one down the list here. I guess not. Oh, here's some posts right here. Men have been taken to the personals. Let's fire up now. Men have been taking to the personals on Craigslist, trading gasoline for sex. Some of the ads on a New York Craigslist org reads as follows. Gas for sex. Male for woman, 35. 6'1", 225. Should be foot, not four, but foot one. 225 Italian workout looking to hang out. I have 5 gallons of gas. Oh, Lordy. I have gas willing to trade, 23. I have a couple of containers of gas I have stored and I'm willing to trade. I am 23, white, decent looking, 5'10", 175 pounds. Email details about yourself and we can meet. Tank of gas 4. Male 4 woman, 45 years old. Oh, Lordy. And and here's the point of, let's go jump back into this Twitter thing with these kids at the local high school. It doesn't matter at some point what we try to tell our kids when they see this crap going on. Once again, you see this stuff going on, and I'm not one for censorship in any way, shape, or form. I am all about okay, Pam is now voter 117 at 10:30, and she's up here somewhere. I'm not sure where. Pam Schoenecker. And that's the paper ballot. Yeah, like I said, I don't use the electronic ballot machine. I don't have any faith in them in any way, shape, or form. And oh, God. Ooh, nice picture of an eagle. Yep. It's I forget where I was now. There's a little picture of I forget what memorial that is, but the Statue of Liberty's peeping out from behind. Is Obama gone yet? Somebody else must be living in rural America. Number 114 out of 365. Usually around number 35 or so. Looks like a big turnout. Considering what's at stake, I'm not surprised. Hopefully the outcome won't surprise me either. And there you go. That's welcome back to the conversation of the and they're not, the pollsters claim that they're the undecided. And that's not true. They know exactly who the heck they're going to vote for. That is the group of people who have shut their mouths, stay the hell out of the political fray, and already know who and what they're going to vote for. And that should scare the living bejeebers out of the village idiot. That will be the deciding factor. Absolutely, positively. Yep. There's a little picture here of a baby. So the baby asked God, they tell me you are sending me to Earth tomorrow, but how am I going to live there being so small and helpless? God said, your angel will be waiting for you and will take care of you. The baby asked, who will protect me? God said, your angel will defend you, even if it means risking her life. The baby said, God, please tell me my angel's name. God said, you will simply call her Mommy. Absolutely correct. In most cases. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Well, this is just going to be an ongoing fiasco here. Oops, I was on the Weather Channel. I wanted to look at this. What do we got going on here?
I'm Mitt Romney. This morning I spoke with a number of students here at the University of New Hampshire. Like young people all over the country, they wonder whether they'll find good jobs when they graduate. Last week in Nevada, I walked through a neighborhood with homes vacant or in foreclosure. Unemployment there is over 13%. Across the nation, over 20 million Americans still can't find a job or have given up looking. How has this happened in the nation that leads the world in innovation and productivity? The answer is that President Obama's policies have failed. He and virtually all the people around him have never worked in the real economy. They just don't know how jobs are created in the private sector. That's where I spent my entire career. In 1985, I helped found a company. At first we had 10 employees. Today there are hundreds. My work led me to become deeply involved in helping other businesses, from innovative startups to large companies going through tough times. Sometimes I was successful and helped create jobs. Other times I wasn't. I learned how America competes with companies in other countries, why jobs leave, and how jobs are created here at home. Later, when I served as governor of Massachusetts, I used the skills I had learned in 25 years in business to streamline state government, balance the budget every year, and restore a $2 billion rainy day fund. From my vantage point in business and in government, I've become convinced that America has been put on a dangerous course by Washington politicians, and it's become even worse during the last 2 years. But I'm also convinced that with able leadership, America's best days are still ahead. That's why today I am announcing my exploratory committee for the presidency of the United States. It's time that we put America back on a course of greatness, with a growing economy, good jobs, and fiscal discipline in Washington. I believe in America. I believe in the freedom and opportunity and the principles of our Constitution that have led us to become the greatest nation in the history of the earth. And I believe that these principles will confirm America's future as well. This effort isn't about a person. It's about the cause of American freedom and greatness. I'd like to ask you to join with us. Volunteer, donate, or just pass this message along to a friend. Thanks so much.
Well, there you have it. That was Mitt in 2011 talking about his bid, his exploratory committee for the bid of the President of the United States of America. I don't think this is going to cross. No, I don't think it is either. But that should have been played more, I think. That was a very well done piece. And for those of you who don't know, there you have it. That's it. That's who's going to be moving into the White House. We will let him move into the White House, unbeknownst to the guy who thinks he deserves to be there for no apparent reason. This guy should have a reason to be there, and we're going to let him. We're going to put him up at the plate and let him swing a few times. See what happens. Here's an interesting little graph that came up. Yeah, you don't like the greedy corporations, says Ron Paul. Then why did you vote for a politician that's bailing them out? Oh, let's not answer that question. Let's not go there, eh? Yeah. Hang on a minute. We're going to do this here. I'm going to share this thing over here, and we'll see what's going on. We're pushing our show shamelessly on the internet today because I'm believing that our Twitter and our Facebook feeds are no longer working. I'll go over here. Let's put this over in There we go. Believing in America. And while my mic keeps slipping here, I'm going to have to tighten this whole mess up again. That's not your problem, right? Not your problem. We're sharing. There we go. Since we don't have... Dan Rather's coming out this morning saying it may be a good day for Mitt. Yeah. Well, we're going to find out at the end of the day about dinner time, aren't we? You betcha. I think that'll be handwriting on the wall by that time. Whoa. Yeah, I agree, Jackie. Apparently Kurt Schiller is reporting that allegedly an Obama volunteer walked into a Milwaukee polling place and helped voters mark and cast ballots. Yep. What are you going to do? I mean, you document it, and I guess you just let it go its way at some point. What do we got going here? What are we doing now? I don't... I wish people... I mean, I shouldn't say that. I at some point, yeah, I believe in causes, but at the same time, I got to ask... here we go. Another one on North 33rd Street, 222 North 33rd Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's a polling address where poll workers are refusing to allow poll watchers to hear names per the GAB rule. There's a hotline on there, 608-665-9050, if in fact you are part of that observation. The violations seem to be creeping in, and I'll say what, like I'm like Joe Ligotti. I got the balls to say what you're thinking. All of these violations are happening in the poorer communities, and where street rules usually rule, I'll say. And that is where America is. And we have let America get there. I mean, that's absolutely ludicrous. It looks like the state, state capitol is blanketed in white at the moment. We have an update from somebody in Madison, Todd Keppel. Again, I'm hoping, like I said, I really truly hope that this is such a small sampling of incidences that we can truly get a true sampling of what America wants. And Sue says, Republicans, get your butts and get out there and vote and take 60 of your family and friends with you. Yeah, why not? Why not? I got to see if 464 out of St. Joseph, Wisconsin at 9:20 in the morning. 464. I wish people would post how many eligible voters there are in your area. When you put out a number, Hang on a minute. I got to drop this out here. Eligible. There we go. There are, if you want to comment or call in, you feel free. 855 toll free 855-490-2300, and send me an email at justjim@thejustjimshow.com. Always willing to listen to what you have to say. I may not agree with it, and I might even cut you off, but hey, you got the right to say it. We'll honor. Third-party voters are idiots, says Matthews. Chris Matthews. Yeah, well, we already know about Chris. A Romney victory tonight could be his Rubicon. I don't know if you voters know what Rubicon is. It's the point of no return. Across the Rubicon, I dare you. Go ahead. That's all in. That says that you are all in if you cross the Rubicon. So, again, I don't know what... Groppy School, low Democrat turnout right now. Well, again, they're all sleeping. You know, that's the problem. I told you that earlier. These guys are not going to start showing up until 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if not 4 or 5 o'clock in the late afternoon. And then they'll claim at 8 o'clock, oh, well, they told us we couldn't vote anymore. That's what's that is their ploy. Boy, the snow's almost gone on the bank across the lake there. That's right. That's what's going on. They're sleeping in today. They figure they got a long night. Well, let's go to a commercial break here. Quick, we'll kick back and see if we can't find some more incident pictures coming in off the internet feeds that we so lovingly belong to. It's Just Jim in the Morning at WPEG.net, your dose of reality network.
WPEG.net, your local PEG programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners, a listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters, because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program. At Hode Gun and Loan, you'll find one of the largest selections of new and used guns in the Northwoods. Beretta, Ruger, and Springfield Armory, rifles, pistols, and black powder. At Hode Gun and Loan, your gun and ammo needs are covered. We buy gold and jewelry too, and right now we're paying the highest prices in the Northwoods for your gold. Located at 915 Lincoln Street in Support our underwriters. After all, they're the ones that keep us bringing this program to you. Do you need a safe and secure place to keep your personal property? Do you want 24-hour lit access to your mini warehouse? Do you want your own lock on your storage unit? Conveniently located at 1647 Menominee Drive in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing has exactly what you're looking for in short and long-term storage units. With nearly 200 storage units that provide safe and secure storage for your personal property, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing and Storage will meet all your storage needs with their short-term and long-term rental contracts. Storage units come in sizes from 4 to 6 foot to 12 by 16 for your large personal and household items.
For a limited time, get 1 month free with a 6-month paid rental contract. Call 715-366-2260 today to see about availability and current monthly specials. From big to small, we store it all. Call 715-366-2260 today. Prices subject to availability.
WPEG.net television network is your PEG content provider in Wisconsin's Northwoods. Public, education, and government programming content is what we do. From city meetings to school board meetings and all points in between, you can count on WPEG.net to deliver the news of your elected officials to you. With WPEG's television network working for your community, you don't have to miss another government meeting or an important school board presentation. We deliver directly to your living room and computer. Tell your city officials that you want to know what they're doing. After all, that's why you elected them. Let your elected officials know that you want WPEG.net television network on your community cable television system today. Call 715-490-2300 or 490-2303 and tell us what you think. Or you can send us an email at pegnews@wpeg.net. WPEG is a listener-supported Are you ready
station.
for digital TV? Dave's TV is. Do you know what you need? Do you have what you need to watch the new digital TV signals? We've been installing antennas and satellite dishes for the past 25 years. From city installations to hunting shacks in the woods, from rabbit ears to 300-foot towers, we've seen it all. No job is too big or too small. Call Dave's TV and Satellite today at 715-362-3001. That's Dave's TV, 362-3001.
WPEG.net, your local PEG programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners. A listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program.
Eastward throughout the night as well. So definitely watch yourself on the roadways. A couple snow showers into Duluth. Not looking for much accumulation, maybe a coating on the grassy surfaces, but it will be cold.
Well, looks like we're getting snow. It's all around us here in the north woods of Wisconsin. And welcome back. Election Day 2012. Oh, I forgot to get more coffee. Well, I'll have to wait. That's right. One of those days today. All right, come on. What are we doing? There we go. Why are we so lagging today? Somebody must be scanning me. Well, whatever. Well, we're going to talk while we eat a little bit. I got to have my nourishment as we go through the day.
Southwestern part of the country by the end of this week. Maybe in Los Angeles only in the 60s as opposed to the 80s today.
We're listening to the Weather Channel here.
Again, not bad for this time of year.
Yeah, it's up in the 50s in Bismarck. What do you know about that?
40s and 50s and even a few 60s sneaking along the Front Range here. Nice day along the Gulf Coast. The humidity is gone. Nice northerly winds. Temperatures in and around Houston will drop into the 40s tonight. So no travel or weather-related problems. Now, we had some big-time rains in Atlanta and delays this morning, but things should improve in Atlanta this afternoon. Some showers and thunderstorms northern Florida and right along the Carolina coast could slow you down. Not a bad day in the Great Lakes, not a bad day. In fact, a nice day in the Northeast, but wind and rain coming up for tomorrow. Get your My AccuWeather custom lifestyle forecasts in AccuWeather for Windows 8.
So it looks like the East Coast will not have a weather problem for voter turnout. At least so far it looks that way. It might hit later tonight, but yeah. And where are we going here? Well, there you have it. looking forward to a conservative president that will roll back Agenda 21. Okay. All right, folks. Here, we'll go back over to that picture there. Now I got a quick import. I have a picture here that you're going to love. At least some of you are going to love it. 2 minutes. There you go. There it is. Hang on a minute now. I get the audio over there. There it is. Given today's election day and what's going on, there's apparently a fire sale going on over here. It's the Obama shop going out of business. Everything must go 70% off. God, I love it. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Come on. Oh, thanks to the 5 on Fox fans, man. That is great. That is great stuff. How could you not like that stuff if you are a patriot? Oh, excuse me. I got the burps now. I think I'm trying to shovel my food down. This is great. Mm-hmm. There are, like in life, there are always just moments of opportunity and the ability to manipulate some of the world around you. There it is. That's it. The Obama shop is going out of business. There you go. That's it. Just absolutely, just wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, we already, yep, Mike, you're absolutely correct. It's the way it is. What are we at? There's not much there in Madison. Looks like somebody took a picture of the polling place. 10 a.m. Althouse. Well, come on. Oh, there we go. Not real busy. Madison looks like about 25 people there. Not a big line at all. Yep. It's interesting. I don't know how many people are actually using the electronic voting machines. Like I said, I'm a ballot kind of guy. I like to have that piece of paper and my pencil and kind of make my mark. I think more people believe in that than they do these damn voting machines. Oh, look at this. An election judge is now apparently wearing an Obama hat as he sits in the polling place, registering people at the polling place. Why I gotta ask the $1 million question, and you call me racist for asking it, but why is it that I see this as always blacks? What's the problem? I know there are a ton of conservative. Pam, I love you to death, girl. You keep doing what you're doing. I hope you win your seat. But why is it that this just continues to permeate within this society, section of our society? I don't get it. I truly just don't get it. Man, oh man, oh man. But again, it is what it is at some point, right? Now, this was in Chicago. It's in Barack Obama's ward, wearing an Obama baseball cap. I mean, come on, people. Oh yeah. Yeah. Somebody said, "Who are you going to call, Rambo?" A Chi-Town? Come on. Well, and that's really too bad when you have that type of a secondary attitude about it. That we truly think we make that statement. Excuse me while I eat on the air, but I got to keep my energies up here. When you relinquish yourself to that kind of comment in America today, where is the attitude that I just pick up the phone, call, and be taken care of? No responsibility anymore.
The death of an American ambassador as the Arab Spring threatens to turn into an autumn of discontent.
We've seen rage and violence over an awful internet video.
Did the administration have any sort of heads up?
Ed, this is a matter that's under investigation.
They panicked.
Can you speak with us briefly about the attack in Benghazi? This is not an appropriate time.
We are in a stronger position today than we were 4 years ago.
Does the Obama administration have a problem calling the threat by its name?
The suggestion that anybody in my team would play politics or mislead is offensive.
Could you have protected Ambassador Stevens?
Special report investigates death and deceit in Benghazi. From Washington, D.C., here is Brett Baird.
It looked like this election was all about the economy. But that changed when terrorists murdered 4 Americans at the United States consulate in Benghazi, Libya, on the anniversary of 9/11. Americans had questions. Who did this and how? Should our government have seen it coming? Did President Obama try to hide the truth? Is this a huge scandal that exposes a failed Obama foreign policy? Or is Mitt Romney just saying it is? Tonight, we'll try to give you answers. We'll walk you step by step through the terror that unfolded that day, and we'll break down the political maneuvering that's followed. But we begin with a series of frightening developments and troubling decisions leading up to that horrific night in Benghazi. It's a story you haven't heard, told by a man who tried to prevent what happened on September 11th, 2012. Did you have a close relationship with Ambassador Stevens?
I lived and worked with him for about 2 months when he came on there till the time I left, yes.
No one understands more than Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Wood the full extent of the fiasco that killed Stevens. He worked closely with Stevens for 6 months in Libya before his violent death. A 24-year U.S. Special Forces veteran, Wood's job was to try to prevent such an attack from occurring. Is there a side of this that makes you mad?
That was my first reaction when I heard that Ambassador Stevens had been killed. I was angry.
Why have you come forward?
I was at the hub of everything that was going on there. Some of that information needs to come forward.
We begin our story, however, in the winter of 2011, a year before Wood arrives in Libya. Colonel Muammar Gaddafi is still in power in Tripoli, but rebels, protected by U.S. air power, are gaining control over much of Libya. February 25th, the U.S. State Department withdraws all its personnel from the capital. But 6 weeks later, April 5th, 2011, it sends Stevens with a 12-man team by chartered boat to Benghazi, now under rebel control. As special representative to the rebels, Stevens set up shop in the Tibesti Hotel. June 1st, 2011, a car bomb explodes in the parking lot in front of that hotel. Stevens and his team decide it's too dangerous to stay there. In August, Stevens and his team settle on a compound on the west side of the city.
It was rented from an owner who had a nice villa there and several other outbuildings as well.
But not a lot of security.
Like in any residence, they're not a fortress.
Inside the walls are 4 buildings. One is essentially a large residence with a number of bedrooms in it. Another residence has a cantina where the staff eats. Just across the way is what they call their Tactical Operations Center, filled with offices for security staff, phones, and security monitors. Finally, the barracks, a small house by the main gate of the compound. It will house a Libyan security force. Sirte, Libya, October 20th, 2011. Colonel Gaddafi is captured and killed by rebels in his hometown.
Revolutions and wars don't just end. The killing goes on. Old scores are being settled, so sometimes there was revenge killings, things going back and forth. So there was still fighting going on.
With Gaddafi gone, Ambassador Stevens will spend much of his time at the main U.S. Embassy building in Tripoli. But he'll come to Benghazi often. The State Department upgrades the physical security at that property.
We extended the height of the outer wall.
Charlene Lamb of the State Department.
Masonry concrete, barbed wire, and concertina razor wire.
Finally, inside the large residence, a fortified safe haven is built. You enter through a heavy metal grill with several locks on it. Tell me about this safe haven.
Simply bars on windows, bars on the wall. You're building a jail cell, basically. You're going to get inside, and it's a delay until you can get some relief to get out of there.
Security on the compound consists of 5 diplomatic security special agents and 4 members of the Libyan government security force called the 17th February Brigade. Former UN Ambassador John Bolton.
Well, it is the responsibility of host governments to provide for security for all diplomatic establishments within their territory. But from the U.S. point of view, we have to recognize that some countries are better able to do that than others. And when you're in a high-threat environment, we have to do what's necessary to protect our personnel on the ground.
There is more security at what's called the Annex, a mile away. Based in Tripoli, but moving around the country, is a Department of Defense site security team. February 12, 2012. Lieutenant Colonel Wood, who joined the Utah National Guard after his 2+ decades in U.S. Special Forces, arrives in Libya as the new commander of the SST. It had 16 members?
Yes.
What exactly did they all do?
The site security team was special operations soldiers that had extra skills and capabilities they could bring to the embassy.
Could a team that small really make a difference?
The caliber of individuals on that team were the best in the United States inventory. Yeah, they can make a difference in any firefight.
The problem, however, is that SST is slated to end its tour in Libya by summer's end, and the security situation is taking an ominous turn. Spring of 2012, there was an uptick in terror attacks in Libya. Is that right?
That's true. I think the nature of things started to change. When I first got on the ground, it was a lot of lawlessness going back and forth. As things progressed, the commotion settled down a little bit, but the targeted attacks seemed to pick up, and they seemed to be targeting more toward Westerners.
April 6, 2012. A bomb is tossed over the wall of the Benghazi compound. June 6, 2012. An IED is placed on the compound's north gate. No one is injured in either incident. That's not the case 5 days later. June 11th, 2012. A convoy transporting Great Britain's ambassador, Sir Dominic Asquith, is ambushed in Benghazi. He isn't hurt, but 2 of his security aides are. Clear that was a terrorist attack.
I actually conducted an investigation a couple of days afterwards, walked the ground, took photographs, examined the vehicle. So they knew what they were doing, and it was definitely an assassination attempt by skilled operators. But as I could see it, I could see the adversary growing stronger, and we were the last thing on her target list.
In the past year, there have been more than 230 security incidents in Libya. And what's apparent to Wood is that terrorists are working on increasingly bigger plots.
I had seen instances occur prior to that. For example, with the other bombings, you know, I saw a series of things going on that it appeared to me that they were building toward, you know, additional attacks.
That's why Wood and Eric Nordstrom, the regional security officer, implored the State Department to keep Wood's SST force in Libya beyond its scheduled August departure.
We weren't requesting additional security. We were requesting to keep the security that we had, and that was being taken away.
So you want to keep your team on the ground, the team that was in place already?
Yeah, and my team was only a small part. There was MSD, State Department MSD.
That stands for Mobile Security Detachment Team.
A lot of those are ex-Green Berets, ex-Navy SEALs, excellently trained folks. There was 3 MSD teams when I got on the ground there.
August 5th, 2012. The State Department decides not to keep the SST in Libya, and the MSD team is being reduced as well.
So who opposed the request?
Charlene Lamb. She denied those requests or ignored them or just didn't fill them in cases.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because
you knew about all these other attacks that had taken place. There had been 12, 14.
we had been training local Libyans and arming them for almost a year.
Okay, well, let me just interrupt.
Why do you think this request was denied?
I don't know. I really don't know. In the case of the SST, that was provided by DOD. The State Department didn't have to pay money for that. I can't imagine why. I can't fill in that blank. That's part of what was trying to come out in the congressional investigations.
I mean, were you just flabbergasted that, like, what can we do?
We couldn't even keep what we had.
I think that what was motivating the State Department was that if we had security that would have truly been appropriate, it would have been an admission that conditions on the ground in Libya were not safe. And that would have violated the worldview that this had been an administration success.
You left Libya in August, less than a month before the attack.
August 14th.
How did you feel about the security situation when you left?
I didn't like it. And I said as much. And my concerns were specifically for Benghazi.
September 10th, 2012. Ambassador Chris Stevens arrives in Benghazi for a full day of meetings beginning the next morning. His first trip there since Wood's security team left the country.
Going to a dangerous place like Benghazi.
Yes.
But he knew it, didn't he?
Yes, he knew. And he went anyway. Because I think in his heart, mission came first.
September 11th, 2012. A mob gathers at the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt, then scales the walls and burns the American flag. The explanation is that they're angry over an obscure anti-Islam video produced in California. Meanwhile, something else is going on in Benghazi. At about 5 p.m. Eastern Time, the first reports about an attack come across the wire. It won't be until morning, however, until America learns how serious that is.
We weren't there. We just weren't there.
And if you were, could you have protected Ambassador Stevens?
Well, the more guns you have in a firefight, the better chance you have of winning.
When we return, Special Report Investigates is on the scene in Benghazi. What happened that night? Greg Palcott has the story of heroism and disaster.
There you go. We're playing a Fox News report on the Benghazi fiasco, attack, murder that we ran across here. And thanks for posting it, Chuck. This is the stuff that our mainstream media, now this is on cable, not on regular Fox News channel, and a lot of average people don't get. You know, we don't like to pay our cable bills. We don't get it for free. Hell, maybe I should get a free cable instead of an Obama phone. Eh? Not. So anyway, this thing was aired a while back. I don't remember when it was. I'll find a date and let you know. But it's the stuff that never hits the news reports. And it's like, why not? Because the truth will absolutely set you free. And the questions that you have to have asked and answered are the ones that guide where your vote should go. This has been an administration that just doesn't understand what the heck is going on. I can't say any plainer than that. Anyways, we'll be right back in a second. Just Jim in the Morning, WPEG.net.
WPEG.net, your local tech programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners, a listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters, because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program. At Hodag Gun and Loan, you'll find one of the largest selections of new and used guns in the Northwoods. Beretta, Ruger, and Springfield Armory, rifles, pistols, and black powder.
At Hodag Gun and Loan, your gun and ammo needs are covered. We buy gold and jewelry too, and right now we're paying the highest prices in the Northwoods for your gold. Located at 915 Lincoln Street in
Support our
Rhinelander,
underwriters.
Wisconsin.
After all, they're the ones that keep us bringing this program
Do
to
you need a safe
you.
and secure place to keep your personal property? Do you want 24-hour lit access to your mini warehouse? Do you want your own lock on your storage unit? Conveniently located at 1647 Menominee Drive in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing has exactly what you're looking for in short and long-term storage units. With nearly 200 storage units that provide safe and secure storage for your personal property, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing and Storage will meet all your storage needs with their short-term and long-term rental contracts. Storage units come in sizes from 4 to 6 foot to 12 by 16 for your large personal and household items. For a limited time, get 1 month free with a 6-month paid rental contract. Call 715-366-2260 today to see about availability and current monthly specials. From big to small, we store it all. Call 715-366-2260 today. Prices subject to availability.
WPEG.net television network is your PEG content provider in Wisconsin's Northwoods. Public, education, and government programming content is what we do. From city meetings to school board meetings and all points in between, you can count on WPEG.net to deliver the news of your elected officials to you. With WPEG's television network working for your community, you don't have to miss another government meeting or an important school board presentation. We deliver directly to your living room and computer. Tell your city officials that you want to know what they're doing. After all, that's why you elected them. Let your elected officials know that you want WPEG.net television network on your community cable television system today.
Call 715-490-2300 or 490-2303 and tell us what you think. Or you can send us an email at pegnews@wpeg.net. WPEG is a listener-supported
Are you ready
station.
for digital TV? Dave's TV is. Do you know what you need? Do you have what you need to watch the new digital TV signals? We've been installing antennas and satellite dishes for the past 25 years. From city installations to hunting shacks in the woods, from rabbit ears to 300-foot towers, we've seen it all. No job is too big or too small. Call Dave's TV and Satellite today at 715-362-3001. That's Dave's TV, 362-3000.
WPEG.net, your local PEG programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners. A listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program.
You know, getting back to school, I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. And I used to, this is true. I work in the summer, I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher, he was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher, Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell, and he says, he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge. Dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, oh glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose. All divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose. And that's love for country. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer, and that would be eliminated from schools too?
Yeah, that would be a shame. But there are people and forces in place that are trying to prevent that from happening. And you know who I'm talking about and what it is I'm talking about if you're listening to this show. Absolutely, positively. Let's go down here once. Nope, that we won't have to go down there. Now, we were in the middle of listening Know the Truth step-by-step a broadcast that hit Fox News the other day. We're going to go right back to that. We're at the stage now where they're going to talk about the previous part. They talked about the build-up to what was going to happen and kind of sort of why it happened, and then the lies and the deceit of what the administration says happened. Because you and I both know in our heart of hearts that there is no way that this obscure video had a damn thing to do with what happened in Benghazi.
The details are still coming out about what happened in Benghazi on September 11th. In off-camera briefings, national hearings, Special Report has investigated as well. Greg Palcott took that information and went to Benghazi himself. There he talked to eyewitnesses and scoured the abandoned compound for additional clues. Now he pulls it all together and walks you through a timeline of terror you won't soon forget.
September 11th, 2012, morning. The U.S. Ambassador to Libya, Chris Stevens, had a full day of meetings ahead of him. But since it's the 11th anniversary of the al-Qaeda attacks, he schedules all of them out of caution behind the perceived safety of the U.S. mission walls in Benghazi. 7:30 p.m. Stevens takes his last meeting in the large residence building with the Turkish consul general. It ends after an hour. 8:30 p.m. Stevens escorts the diplomat to the main gate. He makes small talk in Arabic to the guards and returns inside. At this point, outside the main gate of the compound, on the other side of the U.S. mission walls in this Benghazi neighborhood, all is quiet. No stirrings of any protest, no sign of the real hell about to unfold. In fact, the ambassador decides to turn in for the night. 9 p.m., still no sign of any kind of spontaneous demonstration over that web video. A protest the Obama administration would later suggest escalated into a deadly riot. Joining Stevens in the main residence building is Information Management Officer Sean Smith and 4 diplomatic security special agents. Another agent is at the nearby Tactical Operations Center. All these agents are armed with pistols. 9:40 p.m. This amateur video apparently captures the first movement outside the compound. The mad mob of attackers break through here, the main gate, a weak point in the defense of the mission. And then they move on here
to the understaffed Libya militia barracks. They storm the place. They torch it. They light up embassy cars around it, and then they move on.
According to eyewitnesses, the fighters are well armed and organized, flying the radical Islamist flag, some with foreign accents. The agent in the operations center sees in monitors scores of men pouring into the compound.
A diplomatic security agent working in the Tactical Operations Center immediately activated the imminent danger notification system.
State Department official Charlene Lamb was working that night in Washington, and so she could follow the events in real time.
He also alerted the quick reaction security team stationed nearby, the Libyan 17th February Brigade, the embassy in Tripoli, and the Diplomatic Security Command Center in Washington.
Back here in the main residence, the special agent, reportedly David Ubben, comes here and gets Ambassador Stevens from his bedroom and brings him, along with Sean Smith, to this room in the safe haven. Really, aside from some medicine and other supplies, a big, dark, windowless closet. And then, outside, a locked gate. Hope for security.
Ubben radios the others in the compound to say they are fine. The other security agents are scrambling amidst the gunfire and explosions, gathering up their machine guns, body armor, and ammunition from the other buildings. As two of them head back to the main residence, they're cut off by a large group of armed men. They decide to go back and barricade themselves in.
At this point, there are 7 Americans at 3 different locations, Ambassador Stevens and 2 others in the main residence, 2 special agents at the second residence and cafeteria, and then here in the Tactical Operations Center, 2 more agents. Attackers all around.
One group penetrates the small residence. The attackers, however, don't get to the agents, and they eventually leave.
Inside the main residence, it is a different story. Attackers come in here and they ransack the place, and then they go for the locked gate. They look inside. It's dark. They can't see anything. And then they try the lock. They can't open it up. Inside, Agent Ubben has got a gun trained on them, ready to shoot if need be.
But, as Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Wood says, the safe haven is only safe for a short time.
It's a delay for an aggressor, but it has to rely on someone to come in to rescue him as well.
That someone, Wood says, might have been his elite site security team, but they've been pulled out of the country. Either way, Stevens, Smith, and Ubben were trapped by diabolical killers who pour diesel fuel around the house, light it, and leave.
When we come back, the trapped Americans tried desperately to escape. Before the break, Greg Palcott told you how terrorists overran the U.S. consulate compound in Benghazi, Libya. A handful of Americans caught by surprise, pinned down in 3 different locations. 3 of those people, including Ambassador Chris Stevens, have locked themselves in a so-called safe haven constructed in one of those buildings. The attackers can't break in, so they've set the place ablaze. Once again, from Benghazi, here's Greg Palcott.
September 11th, around 10 p.m. The entire safe haven, which takes up part of the first floor of the main residence, is black with thick smoke and fumes. Ambassador Stevens, Sean Smith, and David Ubben move to a bathroom within the safe area, which has a window. They try to open it, but it doesn't help. There's just too much smoke. They drop to the floor, trying to get air, but even down there, they can't breathe. So they decide to leave the safe haven and take their chances with the armed attackers who have taken over the U.S. compound. Fighting the heat and smoke, they find another window grill they can open.
This is the window that Special Agent Ubben jimmies open and crawls out of, but Stevens and Smith do not crawl out after him. And so, even though he can barely see, barely breathe, he goes back in. In fact, he goes back in and out several times. He can't find them, and he is overcome with smoke.
Ubben struggles up a small ladder to the roof of the building and collapses. He radios the other agents. Another U.S. agent in full combat gear emerges from the Tactical Operations Center. Throwing a smoke grenade to hide his movements, he moves to the small residence and gets the 2 agents holed up there out. The 3 then get into an armored vehicle parked nearby and drive the short distance to the large residence. Taking turns, they crawl into the residence on their hands and knees, feeling their way through the building to try to find their 2 colleagues. They find Smith. They pull him out of the building. He's dead. Now remember, the crack site security team is gone, but there's a small unit of security at the annex a mile away. 6 Americans and 16 from the Libyan militia arrive. Some surround the compound. The others go in. They're unable to find Stevens. By 11, the Libyan forces say they can no longer hold the perimeter. The American agents carrying Smith's body pile into an armored vehicle and exit the main gate. They head for the annex about a mile away.
The crowd fires upon them and throws 2 grenades under their vehicle. They take direct fire from AK-47s from about 2 feet away. Despite 2 flat tires and heavy damage to their vehicle, they keep rolling. Several blocks away, they hit more traffic in a busy Benghazi neighborhood. The car careens over the middle divider, pushes forward against opposing traffic, and finally makes it to the annex and again hoped for safety. Sometime after midnight, back at the mission, looters enter the building and find the body of Stevens slumped on the floor. Although they don't know who he is, they drag him out through a window. His eyes are dazed, his face smoke-stained, seemingly lifeless. When someone says he's breathing, the crowd is relieved and cheer. Allah Akbar, God is great. Around 1 a.m., Ambassador Stevens is brought by car here to the Benghazi Medical Center, where doctors try desperately to resuscitate him for some 45 minutes. They fail. He dies of severe asphyxiation.
Back at the annex, the battle is on again. Fighters hitting the place with AK-47 fire and rocket-propelled grenades, forcing those inside to retreat to a building further back in the annex compound. Sometime after 1:30 at the Benghazi airport, a team of reinforcements arrives from the U.S. Embassy in Tripoli. They make their way to the annex. According to reports, they were going into an ambush.
Around 4 a.m., this annex compound is hit by another wave of attacks. It is described as planned and precise. A round of mortar fire targeting the roof of a building set well behind this gate. That turns out to be dangerous and deadly.
Killed in that attack, 2 security personnel, Glenn Doherty, 42, and Tyrone Woods, 41, both former Navy SEALs. Badly injured, Special Agent David Ubben, the same man who struggled valiantly to save the lives of Ambassador Stevens and Information Manager Smith. The fighters are repelled. The annex, purportedly a base of operations for sensitive intelligence work tracking militants in eastern Libya, is secured, and a decision is made to evacuate the whole enterprise. 8:30 a.m. September 12th. The second plane leaves with the remaining Americans on board and the bodies of Ambassador Stevens, Smith, and Agents Doherty and Woods. It's less than a month since the military site security team left the country, to the regret of its commander, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Wood, who says they would have made a difference.
It was the job of the SST to protect the ambassador should something like that happen. It was our job to defend the compound and engage those targets until he could be extracted.
Chris Stevens was the first U.S. ambassador killed on duty in more than 3 decades. September 11th, 2012 was a tragedy that will long be remembered. Then the story moved back to Washington. Was what followed the fog of war, an attempted cover-up, or something else? Special Report investigates after the break. The carnage in Benghazi is over.
Yeah, well, we'll be right back to stop recording here for a second and save this, and we'll be right back to have Just Jim in the morning, which is now the afternoon on this election day in the United States of America. And I'm broadcasting from the bunker at Lake Might Be Gone in far northern Wisconsin. We'll be right back.
WPEG.net, your local PEG program.